And once the Verticillium wilt is started to infest in the field, then it will stay there for a long period of time, more than decades. We can see in those two pictures, in figure 1 and figure 2, there are a couple of symptoms of Verticillium wilt. In figure number 1, when we uproot a Verticillium wilt infested cotton plant and then try to break the branch, and we can see that vascular brown discoloration in the cotton stem. And in the figure number 2, when we see the leaf, then we can see those brown and those black patches which start from the edge of the leaf, and these are all due to the wilt, the Verticillium wilt. There is no any effective fungicide for this disease, so some recommendation like use a partially resistant cultivar, some high seedling rate, crop rotation like with the non-host plant like sorghum, and optimum irrigation level where we should not over irrigate the cotton in between 60 and 80%. The major objective of this research is to determine the cost and benefit of rotation, irrigation, and cultivar selection for the cotton grown in Verticillium wilt field. The research was started in Helms Farm, halfway Texas, and the research farm was started since 2001 as a research station, but starting 2007 we started to see some wilt appearance, and since that year, every year we have the Verticillium wilt. There was a split plot design, and we had 3 rotation patterns. One is continuous cotton, and another is with 1 year of sorghum and 2 years for cotton. And 3 irrigation rate, base minus 50% and base plus 50%. From 2007 to 2009, we have ET of 80% of per base irrigation rate, and from 2010 to 2013, we have ET of 60% for base irrigation rate. 2 different varieties, one is partially resistant, another is susceptible to Verticillium wilt. And the yield, fertilizer, water amounts, all are available in the Helms Farm report. This is a pie-shaped figure where the field is divided into 6 different parts. In B, C, and D, we have those 3 wedges is 1 year of sorghum and 2 years of cotton. And the E is the continuous cotton. And A and F, which was 1 year of sorghum and 1 year of cotton alternate since 2010. For the irrigation cost, we combine the labor cost and the fuel cost to calculate the irrigation, the center pivot. For 2007, we had $8.8 per acre in, and similar to 2008 and 9, we had 12.64, 2010, 8.64, 11, around 10.64, and 12, it decreased and it went to 9.64. And the different cotton prices from 2007 to 2012 were, in 7 we had $0.50, 8 it was 0.60, 9 again it went back to $0.50, and again in 10 it was 0.62, 11, 0.9, and 12 it declined to $0.8 per pack. All these values were converted into 2013 money value using the CPI inflation calculator, which is also available in the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now to calculate the estimated cost and the returns, we had in one part we have cotton, in the other part we have sorghum. In cotton we have the total cotton income, which was calculated with lane price and quantity when multiplied together and summed up with seed quantity and seed price. And again, the total direct expenses of cotton was calculated with the seed treatments, fertilizers, herbicides, insurance, different implementation and tractors, irrigation level, repair maintenance, and miscellaneous. All these expenses were also, again, they are available in the Hens Farm report. And the return above direct expenses of cotton was calculated when the total income, when the direct expenses was subtracted from the total income. And the fixed income of the cotton was the expenses from the implement, tractor, irrigation, and the pickup. And the returns above total specified expenses were calculated with this formula. So again, in the second part, and for the sorghum, we did quite the same process. For the total sorghum income, we had quantity into price, and for total direct expenses, we had the price of seed, fertilizers, labor, irrigation, diesel, different repair and maintenance, and other miscellaneous expenses. Now, the returns above the direct expenses, again, calculated in a similar process when the direct expenses was subtracted from the sorghum income. And the total returns above the returns above the total specified expenses was calculated when the total cotton and total sorghum returns were added together. So the result that we got from all those calculations, for the first time, now we're comparing the economic returns with the system. And here in the system is the continuous cotton versus rotated cotton. In the left bar we have the 60 ET60 of base irrigation system. In the right hand side we have the ET of 80 base irrigation system. And when the ET is 60, both continuous cotton and rotated cotton did pretty well, but the rotated cotton had pretty better economic returns when compared to continuous cotton in both the cases. In 80, we had a loss with the continuous cotton, but whereas with the rotated cotton, we had profit of around $49 per acre. Similarly, the economic returns when compared with the irrigation, we had free irrigation rate 0.51, 1.5, that is base. The blue one, base plus 50%, that means we have higher irrigation, that is indicated by the white bar. And the least, that means base minus 50% is indicated by those red bar. And again, when the ET60, we had pretty much good return with both high base and high amount of water, whereas with the ET80, the base did pretty much better than high or compared to higher or lower water availability. Now we are moving forward to economic returns when compared with the cultivar. Here, two cultivars, one is partially resistant cultivar, another susceptible. When the ET60, the resistant cultivar did pretty good, giving the returns of around $171, and with the susceptible varieties, it was positive, it was good result, which gave $154 per acre. However, when the ET is 80, it has the susceptible variety, we got lost from the return, and the resistant variety, it was still pretty good in comparison to susceptible variety. So in general, we can say that the resistant variety was better with the both 60 and ET of 80. Now we're moving towards the economic return of irrigation and the cultivar interaction. Here, we divided the varieties, the resistant variety in the left and the susceptible varieties in the right, where we can see that except ET60, the resistant variety, we had good results with 1.5, that means high water application, whereas when the ET is 80 with varieties, resistant varieties, or in both cases 60 and ET80, the susceptible variety did really good with base irrigation system. So, in summary, we can say that rotated cotton gave better economic return than the continuous cotton. And the economic return with application of base and higher water rate did well when the ET is 60. Under the weather condition, when the ET is 80%, 1.5, that is base, had higher returns than 1.5 base and lower water 0.5 base. Again, at 1.5 base and both ET 60 and 80, the resistant cultivar returned more than the susceptible cultivar. At 1 and ET 80, the resistant cultivar returned more than the susceptible cultivar. And at last, at ET 60, the resistant and susceptible cultivar returned similar amount at 1, that is base irrigation system, and 0.5, that is base minus 50%. So with this, I would like to acknowledge the NIFA Southern Region IPM project and Jim Brodowski at Highway Research Station, who collected the data implemented of all the project. So with this, I'd like to conclude my topic today, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
I know it's on Verticillium, the whole plot was Verticillium infested.
Right.
But is there any way to separate? I can think of other benefits to the rotation, not just disease control. So, I mean, not that you have to separate these. I'm just curious if there's any way. There's other things in your interpretation. I would think you need to say, just crop physiology reasons or weed control reasons, or,
In this research, we have all those weeds and everything. It was all constant. Yeah, for all the applications. So, yeah. Thank you.